Ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha. It's Labor Day here in the US, and that actually means no labor for me in terms of my day job, so instead, I shall be here, laboring for you to get some videos put out. Soon, however, there will be one legacy media site that will not be laboring at all in the future, and that would be Kotaku UK, per a statement they released at about 1 a.m. Pacific time today. And so here today we will be going through their statement and discussing a lot of key points and how it applies to not only Kotaku UK but other legacy media outlets as well, and my own personal feelings and impressions. However, before we do that, the sponsorship. Yes, that's right, I have a weekly sponsor because YouTube is YouTube, and because everyone, including the sponsor, enjoyed my little jab at Raid Shadow Legends, we'll continue that in an ongoing tradition by introducing you to the poorly photoshopped by me, Ridge Shadow Wallet. Ridge Shadow Wallet is light, sleek, and industrial. The little guy does fit easily in your front pocket, and as many people were asking, I can myself attest to these guys being RFID blocking. A Ridge Shadow Wallet provided me with my own, and I chose the carbon fiber pattern wallet because uniform branding is a thing. There are over 30 colors and styles to choose from, as well as phone cases, a Ridge Shadow knife, and even Ridge Shadow bags. The Ridge Shadow Wallet comes with a lifetime warranty, and the team is so confident in their Shadow Wallets that they will let you test drive it for 45 days. If you don't like it, simply send it back for a full refund. Get 10% off today with free worldwide shipping and returns by going to ridge.com/SidAlpha and use the code SidAlpha. Link is in the description below. Disclaimer: Ridge Shadow Wallet not to be confused with any terrible mobile games. As I said, per a statement released at 1 a.m. Pacific time by Rich Stanton, Kotaku UK is being shut down. And the statement itself just shows how either self-delusional or simply blind a lot of people in legacy media have become. I also have a lot of thoughts on specific parts of the statement as well as why I believe this decision to pull the plug was made. We'll skip past the first paragraph because it's nothing more than useless filler, much like the introductions in my own videos. And actually no, hang on a minute, I do have a bit of a bone to pick with this first paragraph where Stanton states, if you mentioned Battle Royale back then, you were talking about a film. Which isn't true in terms of video games. This goes back to the concept of Brendan Green had quote-unquote invented the Battle Royale concept with his Arma 3 mod titled PlayerUnknown's Battle Royale that was released on April 8, 2015, which he had then carried that concept over to H1Z1 with the release of King of the Hill in February 2016. However, it's no surprise to me that a legacy games journalist remains to this day blissfully unaware of the Guild Wars 2 South Sun Survival, a Battle Royale minigame released in July 2013, or the CSGO mod titled Battle Royale that was posted 1 year later, or the earliest incarnation of Battle Royale mod that I'd ever come across, which was titled Battle Royale and was a StarCraft 2 mod that was released in May 2011. But then again, Google searches that took a grand total of 30 minutes or less don't exactly tend to be Rich Stanton's strongest suit. However, moving on to the actual subject at hand without a massive side tangent, video games have changed a lot in the time since Kotaku UK launched and will continue to morph and move at breakneck pace in the years to come. Sadly, we won't be around to guide you through them. Which, no they haven't. Video games, by and large, have changed very little. Yes, different genres have become more popular, graphics are improving, and how large games corporations bilk their players for every last penny they can get has certainly changed. But by and large, video games themselves have remained very much the same. First-person shooters, third-person action-adventure games with stealth elements, real-time strategy games, movie license games, fighting games, sports games, platformers, point-and-click games, puzzle games, and walking simulators, the list goes on. Hell, as I mentioned earlier, even Battle Royale isn't a new genre and has been present in some form or another as far back as 2011. Video games as a whole really don't change all that much. They simply get a new coat of paint and occasionally some new mechanics included to try and keep them fresh, along with new stories and new characters. The industry, however, has changed much over the course of the past 6 years that Kotaku UK was in operation. With the introduction of season passes, pre-order season passes, day one DLC, on-disc DLC, the ever-growing prominence of microtransactions to the point where they have very much become macro transactions, loot boxes, ever-growing lists of pre-orders to the point where you need a spreadsheet to keep track of them all, multiple levels of premium in-game currencies, the recent introduction of cloud gaming. Yes, the industry has changed a great deal and not for the better in most areas, but video games, not so much. Stanton continues, "For those that don't know, Kotaku US is run by Go Media, with Future Publishing licensing out the brand and content for the UK site, the one you're reading right now. Unfortunately, Future has decided not to renew the license when it expires on Wednesday the 9th of September, meaning the end of the current incarnation of Kotaku UK. Which makes sense. Future Media Publishing purchasing a distribution license to operate as Kotaku in the UK and by extension likely gaining access to Kotaku's contacts and brand access with publishers and games developers. It's a method to gain access to built-in resources to attempt to churn a profit, something that I'll circle back to here in just a moment." Stanton also said, "I've been Kotaku UK's editor for 3 years, before which I was a regular contributor, and the journey has been a privilege. I'd especially like to thank the people who made Kotaku UK what it was, former editor Kiza McDonald, who with Future started the site, and our colleagues over the years, Dave Captain Bosch, Julian Benson, Leon Hurley, Alistair Jones, Kelly Kaniyama, Laura Kate Dale, Tom Pritchard, Kimberly Snaith, Jack Tomlin, and CJ Wheeler. Now, I included that paragraph for a very specific reason, which I feel is an indicator of how and why Kotaku UK is being closed down by Future Publishing. The expense simply wasn't worth it. Now, I recall in 2018, Jason Schreier wrote that minimum entry wages for a full-time Kotaku writer was $50,000 per year, and in that list of people, including Stanton himself, counted 10 people. Now, of course, more than likely not all of those people were still currently employed at Kotaku UK, but let's run some back-of-the-napkin guesswork math here. Let's say that there were 5 full-time staff making a similar $50,000 per year salary. That would be $250,000 per year simply in journalist salary. We could guess there would be part-time web developers maintaining the site along with some tertiary staff, but let's just make a guess at around $250K per year in wages being expended. In August of 2020, there were a total of 711,000 website visits rounded up. By way of comparison, thanks to videos that took an exceptionally long amount of time to get done plus day job interference, I managed to get out a total of 5 videos on my channel in the month of August, and I received a total of 320,000 views on my channel, or roughly 45% of the same views. Suffice to say, if my upload schedule were normal, 3 to 5 videos per week, my own one-person channel would have easily destroyed Kotaku UK in terms of views. Now, why do I say this? It's not in an attempt to brag, but to point out how unsustainable such a site can be. And yes, I know ad rates would be very different, but even if Kotaku UK's ad revenue was 5 times what I earned in the month of August, their website would have been able to barely afford a single staff member, let alone a team of between 3 and 10 people. And the reason why I bring up the concept of monetary sustainability is rather simple. A legacy media, whether it be Kotaku, Polygon, VG247, Destructoid, Rock Paper Shotgun, and many, many others, all have themselves created what I believe to be a very deserved perception that games journalists are not gamers. Not only that, but they actively dislike and sometimes despise their own audience, constantly and consistently engaging in rage baiting in order to anger their audience, along with forced injection of personal, social, or political beliefs where more often than not those inclusions are completely unwarranted and unnecessary, along with continuing to paint anything and everything under the sun that they don't like as some sort of Gamergate conspiracy. It's no surprise to me whatsoever that media sites such as those that engage in those practices tend to ultimately fail. Yes, they will still have their core of loyal followers. However, their ability to become attractive to a wider reader base is going to become severely stunted by those types of behavior. Now, I recall that in 2017, Laura Kate Dale wrote the article titled Total Biscuit on Dealing with the Hate, where that article received a great deal of backlash being leveraged against Dale on Twitter and sites like NeoGAF, which led to the same Rich Stanton writing a spineless apology article in order to escape the outrage the very next day. And I would like to take an extra moment of everyone's time to read some words from Total Biscuit himself that started with this Twitter thread that's on your screen now. Kotaku UK showed its cowardice today by having Rich Stanton, a guy that's hated me for years, write a groveling, defamatory apology. Rather than defend their writer and work, they threw both writer and subject under the bus to please harassers and hypocrites. I view Rich's statements as libelous, his views on Gamergate as nuanced and educated as that of a pile of bricks, and his spine gelatinous. So hey, on the 3-year anniversary of something no sane person remembered, one thing is clear. Some people have learned nothing at all. Kotaku UK successfully revealed that their concern about harassment only goes as far as until their own journalists are harassed. And then they, instead of standing up to them, they kneel, beg, and plead for mercy and forgiveness. Behold old media's next dumpster fire. What are we going to do about it? The same thing we do every night, Pinky, contribute to the death by irrelevance of old games media. Those concerned about Laura and I suggest we go our separate ways because of the circles she moves in. We'll hate her for even knowing me. We are having a full and frank discussion now, though. I don't want to lose a friend, but it might be the only way to protect that friend. Don't blame any of this on her. She's a new hire and her boss overrode her. Her boss is a damn coward. People gotta make a living. Well, Rich Stanton, now formerly of Kotaku UK, I can honestly state that I won't be overly sad at the site's discontinued existence. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha, and I'll see you next time.